Good morning, everybody. It's me, Waddles, and welcome back to the Minecraft Guide. Oh boy, I can't wait for today. In today's episode, we're gonna build the very first, big automatic farm of the entire world. It's gonna be Sniffer, and it's gonna be wonderful. In the next episode, the official name of the house will be revealed, so you keep your eyes out for that, and down below, let me know, what was the first automatic farm you ever built in Minecraft? So last episode, we found these two beauties right here. I haven't done much in between episodes at all this time. I don't want these things to hatch off camera. Today we will build a beautiful building right over here, I think, and wonderful farm for these sniffers. And to actually pull all of that off, we need something called a minecart. When I said it was chapter 2 and we needed to hit the ground running, well, no pun intended, but I kind of meant we actually need to hit the ground rolling, minecarts. The default version of a minecart looks something like that right there. The normal plain old minecart is used for us riding. We can jump into it and move around if I had the situation. But look, friend, when it comes to minecarts, that's not all there is. There's actually a couple other versions of the minecart that you could find and use as well. We got the plain old classic, we got the minecart with a furnace, we've got the minecart with a hopper, minecart with a chest, explosive minecart, and command minecart. Now in survival, all of these are obtainable other than the highly illegal command minecart. That's not going to be possible. For today's episode, our big one is going to be this hopper minecart right here. It's got some pretty interesting mechanics when it comes to picking things up through a block. Why does it work like this? Well, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But if something lands on a block right above a hopper minecart, well, a hopper minecart will pick it up, and then it can interact with other hoppers in the world. That's big. Oh, Bonzo, I swore I sent you and Camelot on a mining trip in between episodes, and you know how it goes, you're in charge around here. How in the world did you not find any new auras, you said? You didn't even move, you sat there the whole time. Bonzo. Ugh. Bonzo. Alright, lads, so when it comes to the ore situation over at the base, we did find some precious gold last episode, a little bit of nuggets, but we're gonna have to go off into the caves nearby. Hopefully not today, but probably soon. Sniffer pen. Before these sniffers hatch, which realistically could happen like any minute here, we should probably figure out the proper dimensions of this pen. I was thinking for our sniffer farm today, I want to have a pen that is like 13 by 13 on the outside or 11 by 11 in the middle. By guaranteeing that the sniffers have more than 20 blocks, the farm will run a little bit faster. Oh, what was that? Did I hear a crack? Aha, I definitely heard a crack. Another one just happened. Oh boy, we gotta speed up. So a 13 by 13 pen, I think that'll be more than enough for our sniffer farm today. Technically speaking, I could make it bigger, but the bigger I make it, the more rails I need, and the more rails I need, the more mining I need to do. And that is a big problem for me. Our sniffer farm today, it begins with very humble origins. It's a simple 13 by 13 pen, on the inside 11 by 11. Down below this farm, next up, I'm gonna need to clear this out. Underneath just about every single block that the sniffer sets foot on, we'll need to have a rail line running and looping continuously. When it comes to Minecraft and the many various farms you can build, you've got options on options. You can do really anything you want in the world. It could be an automatic farm, it could be a manual farm, it doesn't matter. For many things inside of Minecraft, building an automatic farm, whew, that's like the smart genius move. The super amazing, overly smart, very talented move. Automatic farms are absolutely amazing. By setting up an automatic farm for this thing, the sniffer flowers will be collected for us, all while I'm just moving around the base doing other things. It'll be wonderful. Now next up, a minecart rail line. Whoo boy, we gotta build a minecart rail line. This is gonna be the very first one of the entire world. To build a minecart rail line, we're gonna need a combination of sticks and ingots. Alright, so this is an interesting situation. This is one of those situations in Minecraft where I don't think the recipe was popping up inside of there quite yet, unless I missed it. You craft your first rail line just like that, and all of a sudden, you get even more rail recipes. Now these rail lines on their own, they're plain old rail lines. They will technically work, but for moving things automatically, they actually absolutely 100% won't work. We need to upgrade them. To upgrade these minecart rail lines, we build a different type of rail line as well. This is going to be called a powered rail line. I think maybe 6 to 12 of these would do for this farm. We'll start with 6 and see if we can get it done with these. Sniffer friend, sniffer friend, sniffer friend, sniffer friend. You will hatch first. Your egg is cracking much quicker than that one right there. Any minute now, I feel it. You will pop into the world and be small baby sniffer. You will walk around and you will grow. Sooner or later here. One day. So check this out. Up top, I've got my farm. Down below here, I've cleared out an area that perfectly, excuse me, excuse me, Hello, small sniffer. How are you doing? Little snifflet, oh my gosh, how are you doing? Oh, welcome. It's been so long, possibly millennia, since you've been buried in an ocean. I hope you've been well. Welcome back welcome back to life. I hope you're doing well. I don't know. Oh, you have a friend too. I don't know where you're trying to go. You stay away from the fence gates, or ma'am, whatever. Oh, it's beautiful. Baby Sniffler will not do anything though. We need to give this thing a little bit of time, and eventually it'll grow up. Oh my gosh, look at the walk animation. This thing is perfection, and the sounds too. Oh, I'm so happy right now. I don't know if you could tell. Down below this farm, perfectly lined up, I've cleared out an area. But if I were to lay the minecarts down here, because we're more than one block away, the eventual future hopper minecart will not work. The next thing I need to do to build our sniffer farm here today is raise the floor back up. To conserve materials, I'm going to build slabs. It might be a slight problem later on, but we'll address it later on. I also think I'm going to continue to lower the floor down. I mean, it's like 3 blocks. How could I not? No time later, and I have a solid floor of slabs sitting 1 block below the entire platform. And I actually included the blocks that the fences are sitting on too, just to be safe here. Next step in our sniffer farm today is going to be rail line time. Except small problem. We have sniffers walking around, residing up here, slowly growing up. And I need to fit in a small space, a tiny gap, to actually lay rail lines down. But I've got a hack, and it works on bedrock too now. Before we slide underneath this farm though, we should probably consider crafting the rest of the materials that we're going to need for our build today. It's sad but true, but almost any automatic farm is going to be iron heavy. That is why beautiful iron beauty, that's going to be on the to-do list very soon here. Absolutely need an iron goddess inside of this world. Trapdoors, check this out. If I place a trapdoor just like that, I'd move into it and hit the trapdoor, boom, all of a sudden I'm crawling. Now I can crawl around down here, and I mean, I do move a little bit slower here without any swift sneak, but I can actually crawl around underneath here and place any of the blocks that I'm gonna need. Now I gotta think about this whole rail pattern here for a second. We want this thing to be a continuous loop. That means that I know for sure on one side of this thing, we're gonna have rail lines going all the way down. Then what I think I'm gonna do is wrap them around the front. However, when it comes over to one side of this thing, like the front, let's say over here, we're gonna wanna have a pickup spot somewhere. I think for the pickup spot, maybe we'll just throw it there for now. We could always move it later, but it's basically gonna consist of a hopper going into some kind of chest. After that, we can continue with the rail lines. Back down under this thing, let's think about this for a second. We're gonna have this rail line go this way, then what I need to do is have it weave back this way and go all the way down to the front. After it gets all the way to the front, we do it again. We turn and we go all the way down to the back. Then I need to continue that pattern all the way through this entire thing, and I'm definitely gonna need more iron, man. There's no way this will be enough. Iron. The wonderful delicacy that is iron. Considering the fact that we're so high up in the mountain, I should be able to move into this cave just a tiny bit. Ooh, that's a lot of mobs. I should be able to move into this cave, and I should be able to find iron all over the place. In Minecraft, the higher up you go, like we talked about before, the more iron you should be able to find. Iron. All I need to do, well, poking into this cave just a tiny bit for a little bit of iron, is hopefully get a little bit luckier with the fortune situation. Come on. And I need to watch my back for other bad mobs. Aha! I thought I brought a little bit more iron over here. I mean, 19 nuggets is not a whole lot of... 19 raw iron, whatever. It's not a whole lot, but it definitely is a little bit more. Time jump, a little time forward, and the rails underneath this farm, they are coming in, and not only coming in, but I'm just about finished. However, small problem. Because of the dimensions that I'm specifically working with this farm, if I were to do this here and turn again, I would have to go all the way back over and add another section. Considering the iron situation with this farm, and considering the fact that I actually was already going a little overkill here and going underneath the block with fences on it, I think it's fine. I think basically, long story short, I can shrink the farm in a little bit here. And actually, I should probably go underneath this farm and dig all of those blocks out too. You see, in Minecraft, the minecarts, they're one of those things that is like surprisingly advanced. There's essentially this whole friction mechanic going on here, where basically, if we have a minecart rubbing against blocks, it will actually be slowed down a little bit. You can offset friction by adding a little bit more power, or just by like removing any blocks that it might end up touching. Alright, now power. As you can see in here, if you look closely, every single rail is a plain old rail. We're gonna need to come back in here and add a little bit of power, and 100% I guarantee we're gonna need more than just, unfortunately, 6 powered rails. 12 should probably be more than enough, though. So before we go in here and lay our powered rails down, I'd like to move in and take a look at what we got. If we get a power rail about every 10 or so blocks, our farm should be more than good. The minecart should move, like, basically forever. That means if I wanted to go really overkill here, I think if I put a powered rail in the middle on every single section here, this cart will move, like, continuously forever. However, to put powered rails in here, that's going to mean we're going to need to actually be able to power these rails. To power the rails, we're going to need a solid block down below it. From underneath this farm, first we'll double up all of the middle slabs. After that, we run back over and grab the trap door. We open the trap door and all of a sudden we're crawling. As long as we can stay underneath the block, kind of like I am right here, we'll stay crawling. It's lever time. If I drop a lever on every single one of these blocks, 12 should be just enough for the entire farm. Now, I haven't tested it quite yet, but I'm pretty sure, like 95% sure, this will be enough powered rails. I might need to add like one more on that entrance strip over there, but I guess we'll see. Other than put our minecart inside of this thing, basically the final thing we need to do to get the whole farm up and running is turn these levers on. Minecart. It's expensive. It doesn't feel good. We need a hopper too. Minecart is fully out of iron. It's a reverse of a helmet. Minecart just like that, hopper, minecart. Once you combine them, they're combined forever. Oh, that's expensive. And to start the minecart, we will put it right there, hit the trap door again, and move under it one final time. If we push the minecart just like that, it should start to run. And now I wonder if we have enough speed. I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. Look at that thing. It's speeding up. That should be good. We should be pretty much golden. I think that's more than perfect for this minecart forever. Now, my single biggest piece of advice, whenever you set up any kind of automatic farm that has any of these rail lines, make sure it's lit up all around this thing, and make sure you block it in. So, like, a baby zombie, anything small, wouldn't be able to run under there and mess your minecart up. To make sure we're all good, and so that could never happen, we'll do a little bit of terraforming. I'll fill it in with the extra dirt. And now, it's time for the build. Oh boy, I got a dream. Lads, with the farm all set up and good to go, if you've been standing this entire episode, please take a seat. It's gotta be uncomfortable. I got a big plan, really big hopes and dreams for this farm, this little build right here. What I would like to do is build a simple build that is small, but a build that I could run into and be safe from. Maybe inside of this build, I'm envisioning a very small growing area too. Think that could be kind of cool. And of course, like, the sniffer is such a cool mob. I really want to do some color on this build and make it look pretty cool. Fun, you know? To kick our big sniffer build off today, legends, I started by doing a tiny bit of terraforming back behind the sniffer farm. See, I want the sniffers front and center. I would like to be able to see them easily. From inside of the building, I like a small viewing spot, but like, maybe the building is more about just like going into the thing and accessing the chest, maybe growing the stuff. So with that all being said, I want the building sitting at the back side of the sniffer pen here. Then I know on this building, I want to use some dark oak logs. I think they'll look good. We'll create maybe like sections of 3 up until we get to this spot right here. After that, I would like to make maybe a section of 5. That means the building lines up, I think, perfectly right over here with this pen. That'll be pretty cool. Over here, I'm envisioning like a big viewing window. And then over here, maybe like, I don't know, just like a wall or something. Now for this wall, I'm not too sure what I want to do here. I don't really have too many block options, like not the most in the world. But what about some stone, maybe? I could say start the base of the wall with plain old classic cobblestone. After that, I could come in a little bit higher up, which I'll do once I have the stone. But I could come in higher up with like stone bricks or something. That could look pretty nice, I think. Over here, this part of the wall, big viewing window. Oh, you already know, it's got to go all the way down to the floor. So we'll have something like that. I'll come back in and get the glass later. Now on the rest of the build, I know I want to have a little bit of depth to the build, but not too much. It's not like, again, the most important thing in the world. What if we went, say, like 5 blocks, something like that? Then we'd line the pillars up on the other side and basically have a small rectangle. I think that could be pretty cool, but to poor sniffer, what if it like rains or something, right? We need to have like a covering area for the sniffer. I mean, look, after all, who do you think I am? I'm no cruel monster. I'm not gonna leave the ancient species, revive them, and make them sit outside through every single thunderstorm. They're gonna be terrible. So what if we have the house to be like a rectangle with a square popping out of it? Then I build a cool roof and get some cool color going on too. Ho, I think that's the plan. Oh, well. Would you take a look at who finally grew up? Oh, it took you forever, but you're here now. You're fully grown, which means within the next, 3 minutes, you should be a fully grown-up, too. Once your sniffer friend, once it finally makes it to fully grown adulthood. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got 2 of them. Once they do that, they're going to walk around inherently, instinctually, and sniff. Eventually, my friend should find a block that it thinks is intriguing. It's got kind of like a lot of blocks to search here, so that's going to speed it up. It ploops down. Oh, it's blue, whatever it's called. It digs. And oh my gosh, just like that, it's a picture pod. Now, typically the minecart would just pick it up for me, but I do the work. Oh, the dance. How could I not see the dance? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. We got a sniffer. Now, if we want to actually be able to grow this thing or whatever, then I need to plant it on farmland. For now, though, look at that. It disappears. The minecart got it. It'll be put inside of the chest. Every 8 minutes, I believe the timer is, the sniffer will dig for a new seed. It could be pictures, or it could be torchflowers. Now, there is kind of a big difference between the 2 different seeds. One seed is a little bit more useful, but it seems like the sniffers only want the pictures right now, so fair enough. I think I've got him. A whole lot of building later, and the build is starting to look pretty nice in my opinion. I got the build nice and tall in there, and I got a little bit of a spruce wood trim on the roof going on. That's an extra block, ignore it. Down low, I got stone bricks. I wish I had a vine farm. We need to build one of those soon, so I can do mossy bricks in there. Instead, I'll come back in a little bit later on. Over here, I got my 2 wonderful sniffers who have been busy working. It's so wonderful. I'm about ready to pull out my secret weapon, but before we do any of that, front door on the building. It's gonna be right over here. That means today, before the end of the episode, I need to build a path that goes, I guess, down this hill for now and wraps back over. I'm gonna try and be better about putting paths in as I start to do builds instead of forget to do them and do them later. I think for now, I'll just have it cut down and curve around and link up. Yeah, anyways, back over here inside of the build, this is what we've got. We've got a big viewing window. It's wonderful. Over here, I got a lot of empty extra space. I was thinking, I don't know where I want to put it. Maybe in, one of these corners or something. I definitely want to have, a planter box of some sort. I could do, maybe something right there, put water in the corner, and then do, I don't know, another one stretching like that. I guess that could kind of work. Over here, the chest, I haven't opened it. We've got to have a torchflower, though. I've seen this thing dig multiple times. Ho, we do have torchflower and some other nice thing too. Oh, it's wonderful. You know what I should maybe do is build an easier way to get in and out of the sniffer pen, other than all the way over here. Didn't consider that. Anyways, torchflowers, they're really important. They're the sniffer's favorite food. If we feed you torchflower, good friend, and you torchflower, ooh, that's a nice sound. They look at each other, they're gonna bump each other a little bit, and then poof, on the ground after they're done, we should get a sniffer egg. If you have sniffers in your world and you're setting up a farm, I highly recommend, if you have at least 2, pick up at least 2 eggs, breed them a couple times, and keep some eggs in storage, just in case they go away. With some backup eggs locked away, I could always give birth to new sniffers and start it all over again. Obtaining, keeping, fostering, raising even more sniffers, that will be a long-term goal of this world. As soon as I can get more torchflowers and as soon as the time has passed, I'll breed up even more sniffers and start to stock up. For our long-term, easy item collection setup, we'll do something like this. I'll put staircases in the ground and then in front of those trap doors. Haha, you did it again. What did you get? Oh, man. Why do you all want pictures? That's weird. Anyways, that's a bit of a 2-in-1. If I keep trapdoors right here and I ever need to get into this thing to restart the minecart, well, no big deal. Next up, because I have them right now, and I would kind of like to have some proper flowers before the end of the episode, we'll set up our small farm I keep talking about. What I'll do is I'll till some land in here and then plant the plants. Ooh, just like that, planted the past. So farming these crops right here, these flowers, well, farming these things, it's gonna be just like farming wheat or carrots or something like that. Plant them on tilled land and give them a little bit of time. They'll grow up. We can make our newfound planter box look a little bit more spiced up by adding some signs to it. Other than the corner. I don't know what I'll do there. Aha! And look at them. They're busy at work. I mean, I kind of already planned. Oh, whoa. It's floating. Aha. Interesting. All right, it's long overdue. It's time for my secret weapon, the roof. On the roof, I want to add a little bit of color. To add a little bit of color to this thing, oh, it's the blue warped weird thing. Yeah, the blue thing. Yeah, whatever it's called, it's that. I want to do a ton of that all over the roof, and then to make it look a little bit more interesting, we mix in the blue planks. Ooh, I think we mix this in, and this will make this build not only like really stand out, but also like it'll give it so much personality. It'll be wonderful. I haven't tried it out yet, but hands on, I can guarantee the best way to finish this build up, and today, make it look perfectly beautiful, well, it's these blocks right here. I was thinking to maybe add a little bit of detail to the roof line also. What if we came in here with like some staircases on the top? It'll make like little swoops, little arches or something. That could look pretty cool too. So I'm gonna do that. Over here, I did a smaller, different awning roof. I think to like finish everything off, I'll probably just do staircases going down like that. I mean, it's such a small part of the build, so I don't think it matters that much anyways. And then finally, over here on the back of the build, it's all gonna be pretty much exactly the same too. I added a couple details to the back of the build, just trust me, I absolutely did, I'm not lying. So, you know, do a little bit of detailing. I'll clean up the roof in a second. Put some torches in here, absolutely. And we're not bad. We add a couple of details, maybe a small road winding over to this thing, and from the outside, we end up with a build that looks something like this. 100%, certainly, absolutely. If I had a lantern, if I had enough iron, I would hang one from right in there. That would look really, really good. So we'll just keep it in mind and come back later. Same with all of the mossy blocks that I love to add to this thing. As soon as I build a vine farm, we come back and sprinkle them, spice it up all over this thing. Now the sniffers, the ground in here, I believe that I could technically bone meal this. I don't think it'll mess anything up. But instead, we could definitely bone meal it, but I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing in there. Inside of the build, it looks like finally the very first tropical ancient plant is done. And by the way, the inside, I kept it nice, sweet, short, and simple. I wanted to keep the blue on the ceiling like poking through. I think it's really, really cool looking. So I went in and added a couple slabs. This is a great detailing technique. I put some cross beams in here. I hung the ledge over a little bit to give it like a, you know, like a proper ending and everything like that. And same thing, lanterns hanging from there eventually. Now, torchflower. Eventually, the thing will grow up. When it grows up, you'll harvest it just like that. And now, all of a sudden, I've got a brand new source of orange dye. Oh my gosh. Yes, 2 torchflowers. Perfect. Yeah, anyways, though, on the other hand, I could move back into the pen, feed you torchflower seed. Hey, buddy, right there, you have the seed too. They'll walk over to each other, but I could plant these things down as decoration. I feel like, ethically speaking, that's the only thing that we could do inside of the sniffer pen. Like, torchflowers are gonna have to go all over the ground, and sniffer egg. 100%, the devs need to change the sniffer egg. Like, you should be able to place this thing down on anything that isn't like grass or moss or something that this thing digs in, and it would never hatch. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. So to keep them safe, just in case, we'll keep them inside of that chest. So for now, I guess we have a pitcher farm operation going on inside of here. Another wonderful thing I would throw in here in my dream would be some cyan carpet, but we're just not here quite yet. So eventually, cyan carpet as well. Put it on the to-do list. Remind me later. It's your job now. And so as unfortunately the rain sets in, the end of today's build, and then our very first automatic farm. The sniffer farm, the beautiful, oh wait, today's bonus build. Haha, you're right. Now real quick, before we get to today's bonus build, something else that I also almost forgot about, today's comment of the day. In fact, I forgot about this thing so hard that I completely forgot to leave a segment in the video for it. So here's some footage from earlier. Today's comment of the day is all about music. Music is one of my favorite things in all of life. Lately, I've been diving back into the Forever Ago album, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. However, I wanted to talk about another album that is absolutely like ultimate peak vibes right now and also bass inspiration. Legend has it, rumor says that occasionally, if you listen very closely, From the fjord out my front door, occasionally you will hear Austin by Post Malone, the album. Specifically, Don't Understand. Oh my God. Posty, what were you doing? That is fire. There is a bonus for today's episode. Go stream the album, listen to it, and get back to me. You let me know what you think about it because it is so good. I love it so much. Such a vibe. In the last episode, we set a small goal to do builds in every single episode to start to, spice up the world, add to it a little bit. Today's build, to start to spice up the world a little bit, it's gonna be small, it's gonna be simple. But honestly, since I set out on this challenge, I knew that this build was gonna have to be one of the builds. We'll place a little bit of deep slate there. Maybe say we'll bury it with a little bit of deep slate bricks here. How about a cherry log right there and there? And then we could strip it. Maybe just a few more like that, and again, strip them all. And finally, to put a proper cap on this thing, a couple more logs right up there. To finish her up for once and for all, at least for today temporarily, a couple blue blocks. And oh, what is it? Well, of course, it's a statue. None other than Founder's statue. I think it fits. It's nice. Thank you all so much for watching this episode. Smash like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time in the next one. Goodbye.